Love and Local here, ladies and gentlemen. This morning we say hello to Joe Green. He is from Evergreen Learning Incorporated. And in case you're wondering what in the world is this company, first of all, great name of a company, especially with your name, very clever. But you are somebody who puts together a program to help people develop their employees.
The short of our mission statement is that we help organizations grow and strengthen their people assets.
And our boss has said that, of course, the people are the most important asset a company has. And if you don't have good employees, obviously you have a not such a great company.
Absolutely. One of my favorite authors, Tom Peters, he's written, I think, probably 20 or more books about business, says that the only truly sustainable strategic advantage any company has is its people.
There you go. You're talking about organizational development, sales training, team building. All this comes into play. And how do you go about doing so?
Well, we do it in a number of ways. The key to Lou, is that most American businesses readily invest in hard assets. They change the oil in their trucks, they buy new equipment for their factories, and they build wonderful studios like this. But they don't invest as readily in their people, and the things that we do are to help companies look at that and think about how it is that they can differentiate themselves in the marketplace, because really
Why do you think that's the case?
Most businesses are short-sighted. They think they can save their way into prosperity. I heard a great quote the other day that I think that makes my point probably best of all. Is the CFO was talking to the CEO, and he says, "Well, what if we invest in our people and they leave?" And the CEO thought for a second. He said, "Well, what happens if we don't invest in our people and they stay?"
That's a good point.
That's a great point.
Recognizing that competitive advantage and building on that is really what we do at Evergreen Learning.
You know, this area, so I worked in network television out in Burbank, California, and we were a private company, and then we're bought by the GE parent company.
Yes.
And I learned firsthand that this area, we didn't have any of it when we were just a standalone production company at the network. When we became part of the bigger thing, I learned how incredibly important this really was. And you know, terms like team building are overused, and you do a lot more elaborate version of that, but we learned first and foremost, and we ended up extending how many people were staying there. You know, we were just running through people. Every year people would drop out and stuff, and we ended up, people would stick around and all that sort of thing, exactly what you're talking about.
One of the thanks, Brett. You know, one of the things that companies are not facing right now is the tremendous shortfall in talent that we're going to have, and it's just looming over the horizon right now. Most folks don't see it. The baby boomers, folks in my generation, are retiring. At the same time, knowledge industry, technology, and so on are creating jobs at an unprecedented rate. As a result, the earlier projections were that by 2020, just 5 years from now, that there would be a shortfall in the United States of unfilled jobs of 50 million jobs.
Wow. Wow.
Now, that's been extended because of the recession. Jobs haven't been created, but as our economy heats up, we're going to see more and more struggles on the part of companies to make sure that they have the kind of folks that they need. You know, we just take this KCWI as an example. If you look at your competition, they can copy this set relatively closely. They can do a lot of things, but the real difference makers are you folks.
Well, they've copied some of the programs and some of the elements that we've had. We've seen that happen already.
But they can't copy you. And so understanding that and the value of that and being competitive out there for that, if we're going to be competitive as a business, especially here in Iowa, you've all read that Iowa's on the top 10 list by several magazines, the best place for college graduates to start their careers, best place to start a business, and all those kinds of things. The competition for talent in central Iowa is going to be incredible, and companies are going to have to start paying attention to the things that will attract people. One of them, when young people are looking at a prospective employer, they ask, you know, what's my career path here?
Right.
What are going to be my opportunities down the road? What are you going to do to invest in me? And a lot of companies don't have an answer for that.
Well, not only that, higher education isn't necessarily designed to make good workers.
Absolutely.
You know, they're designed to make people specialists in knowledge that not necessarily is suited to the workplace or make them good employees. So I learned that the hard way. We're trying to hire people, you know, for even production jobs. People come up with 4-year degrees in production, didn't have the know-how.
Now, from an employer standpoint, is it more than just taking money and throwing it at an employee? Is it more than just that?
Well, that's the mistake most businesses think that they make. They think
They don't make that mistake here. I'll tell you that right now. I guarantee that.
well, we can work on that.
Okay.
We can help. But they just think that we'll be able to buy it. And in fact, especially in this newest generation that's entering the workforce right now, they come to work with a whole different set of needs and interests than did my generation.
Mm-hmm.
For
Well,
better or worse.
interesting.
Now,
Now-
I imagine one of your problems is that the very companies that need this help probably don't realize they need this help.
That's why I'm here today, so we can help them see that.
All
You're right.
How do
Exactly.
we help those people? How do we have people get a hold of you so you can let them know what they need to do?
I have my website. It's www.evergreenlearning.com, and they can also contact me at my office number, which is 515-987-2808.
Okay, you're over on West Town Parkway is where your office is.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Joe, very nice to meet you, my friend.
It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much for being here.
everything you do.
We'll be right back. It's 9:20. You're watching Great Day Live on KCWI.